Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today I will be talking about my breastfeeding journey of two kids, my first daughter, and then after that my son, who I breastfed continuously. I have been breastfeeding continuously since my first daughter and then my son. And disclaimer, I am not judging any mothers who did formula feed their children or are planning on formula feed their children. I have nothing against that choice. I don't judge mothers who supplement or anything. So this is just gonna be my story and what worked and what happened in my journey breastfeeding my two children. I found out that I was pregnant when I was 20 years old, and I knew from the beginning that I wanted to breastfeed. I don't remember exactly how or why I wanted to breastfeed, because I didn't really grow up with anybody breastfeeding around me except for those ladies on the bus or like on a bench, like taking their boob out and like putting their child on there like with no shame. And I'm all for breastfeeding in public, you know, because I think that's beautiful. I think that women should, and they shouldn't feel ashamed or embarrassed to breastfeed their child in public, covered or uncovered. I don't think that any. So I knew that I wanted to breastfeed my child from the beginning, and before she was born, I did a lot of research on YouTube and Google, and I listened to a lot of negative and positive stories about breastfeeding, and those worked a lot. I would also go to the WIC, and they helped me a lot too. But with all of that, I kind of knew what to expect. But once your child is here and they put her skin to skin and right away she wanted to latch on, it's like nobody really prepares you for that. Like you could see so many videos and all that, but until your child is in your arms, you just don't know how it's really gonna be. Is your child gonna latch on? Is she not? Is she gonna have more difficulty? Is she gonna have that tongue tie thing? And it's a lot of things go through your mind. But Sophia, when she was born, she latched on really quick. I mean, obviously she wasn't like, I mean, obviously things weren't like so quick and like, oh, everything's like so easy and perfect. I mean, obviously with practice everything went even better. But my milk didn't come in really soon. I think it took like 3 to 4 days for my milk to come in fully, and that's normal. Your child, as long as you keep on latching the baby on every few hours, well, not every few hours, every time they want to, obviously, and it could be anywhere from every 15 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour, 2 hours. Every baby is different. My daughter wanted to latch from the beginning every hour. She was latched on for like 30 minutes each side, and it's stressful because you're like, is she eating? Is she not getting enough food? Because she's always latched on. But that's normal. It's just that they're latching on, and the more they latch on, your body will start producing milk faster. So that's what I did, and I knew that. But I mean, not until you have your child there would you know. And it's still stressful, even though you do a lot of research still. But everything, for me at least, turned out well. Although my daughter has always been on the thin side, so when we went to her checkup 2 weeks after she was born, her doctor was concerned because she said she wasn't gaining weight as she thought she should be. But my daughter has always been on the thin side, and she had told me, you need to supplement or feed her more frequently. So she suggested I give her formula, and I did. I didn't want to, but because the doctor had told me, I did. And I didn't really want to give her formula. I just thought that breastfeeding was more natural and best for her body. After she was born, I had to go back to school, and I was going part-time since she was a month old. But those, I was taking intense courses because I'm trying to get into nursing school, so those science courses are like tough. And so since the WIC and the hospital had given me manual pumps. That's all I had to work with. I didn't qualify for an electric pump, which was fine. I did make it work, and I would leave some milk for my mom to give her the breast milk, and I would also the WIC would give me formula, so I would give that to her. So I did. It was mostly breastfeeding, but I would supplement here and there with formula. So I breastfed my daughter for 2 years, 2 and something months, because at that time I found out that I was pregnant with my son, with my second child, and a few weeks into my pregnancy with my second child, my body stopped producing milk. I would still have my daughter, well, she still wanted to latch on, so I was like, okay, why not? But I did a little bit of research, and I did find that the doctor suggested that breastfeeding wasn't ideal for pregnant women because that would like cause a miscarriage or something like that. But I also did read a lot of articles where a lot of women did decide to continue breastfeeding while pregnant, and that's what I did, although my OB told me not to. But for me, I thought that that was the best thing I could do. I mean, I wasn't producing any milk anymore. She was just latched on. And my second pregnancy was so hard because my hips started hurting so much. At 3 months, I mean, I wasn't even showing yet, and my body was already hurting me so bad. I couldn't walk so much because my joints and my hips would hurt so bad. I got the stomach flu 2 times while I was pregnant, and I was nauseous like every day, all day, the first trimester and the first trimester and the second trimester. And so it was hard, but she would still latch on, and I would let her only because it was only at night, so it wasn't that much. And what else? Oh yeah, well, when my son was born, well, before he was born, obviously I knew that I was going to breastfeed him. If I had breastfed my first child, I was going to breastfeed my second child. But this time I said, I'm not going to give into formula. I'm going to stick it through, exclusively breastfeed, because that's just what I wanted to try. I wanted to try to push myself to exclusively breastfeed. Unless I needed to supplement as well, then I would. But I was going to push myself to only breastfeed him. And so when he was born, he latched really well. The same as my first child. And I mean, obviously with practice he got better, and my milk actually took longer to come back with him than my daughter. It took, I think, 4 days, or yeah, I think 4 days to come. And when my daughter was, I think, 3, something like that. But I felt like it took longer with him. But when I got home, so he actually wanted to latch every 30 minutes for like an hour. So it was like all day, every day since he was born. And so the night that we got discharged, when we got home, I was so stressed out for some reason. I was so overwhelmed that I told myself, I had some formula. I feel so bad that I want to give him formula, but he was so fussy that day that I was like, okay, I'll give him like less than an ounce, literally, of formula, just so he can go to sleep. And, you know, I'll still latch him on, but my body will, he'll be a little full, and then my body will just produce milk soon. And it did. The next morning my milk came in, and I was like, oh, thank God. And that's all the formula that I gave him for 6 months. And after that, I did end up giving him formula because I went back to school. Well, I had been going to school while I was pregnant the whole 2 years, and my daughter was 2, obviously. And then when I was pregnant, and then after he was born, I took 4 months off. I only went half the semester. So 4 days before I went into labor, I took my final for physiology, a 6-week physiology class. I was like big and fat, and continuously breastfed him for 10 months, and which wasn't, I think it was February. We went to his doctor's checkup, and she told me that his iron levels were low, so I started giving him a formula So yeah, for like 10 months I exclusively breastfed him. Now that I remember, because I was like, no, 6 months is too early. But 10 months, yeah, so at 10 months I started giving him formula because his iron levels were low. So right now, today, well, he's 11 months now. Yeah, 11 months. No, he was like 9 months in February. So yeah, like 9 months exclusively breastfed him, and then now he's 11 months. He will be a year old next week, April 13th. And I am planning on weaning him soon. And you know what, you guys? I also forgot to tell you guys, you know, like, apart from like people not telling you like how it really is. Well, I mean, not that they don't tell you how it really is, it's just that you can't expect breastfeeding to go exactly how people say, because everybody's experience is different. I also remember that with my daughter, I didn't know what nursing pads were, and for like 4 months, maybe 2 or 3, no, like 4 months in the beginning with my first child, I wouldn't put nursing pads and my boobs would like leak out. You know what I would put? I would put the facial, those cloths that you like wipe your face with after you wash it. I would like fold them. I don't know how I would do it, and then I would put them, but I would constantly be changing them because they were not nursing pads. They wouldn't soak in as well. But that's what I did, and then I figured it out. I was like, oh, you can buy nursing pads instead of these cloths. And I wouldn't go out because I was like, I don't want to go out. I have these like cloths. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm still breastfeeding my son, and I'm planning on weaning him soon because I want to wear nice tops without wearing nursing pads, or like those like breastfeeding bras and stuff like that. Like, I want a cute dress without wearing a bra, and just like, or when I go to bed, like, I don't want to like wear a bra all the time because I'm like afraid to leak, you know. So there's a lot of things that people don't tell you. I mean, obviously you gotta go through stuff on your own, but like, I didn't know what a nursing pad was. I would see them, but I never really knew what it was until like my daughter was 4 months. I was like, whoa, where the hell have I been? Yeah, but for my second son I already knew, and I think I'll be doing another video on like products that I have used throughout my breastfeeding career, I guess, because it feels that way, like having a kid latched on like every hour. I mean, not so much now, but he's older. But okay, guys, I hope you guys liked my video, and it was super long and I probably missed a few things, but give it a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't like it, oh well, it's alright. And please subscribe if you want to continue watching my videos. And I usually upload, well, I upload like every week. I try on Thursdays. Back to the story about women, well, because I didn't grow up with women breastfeeding their children other than seeing them in the bus and like latching them on. Like, I was a teenager, and I think I would judge, not really knowing, but for a long time I was scared to breastfeed my daughter in public until I would always feel ashamed because people have a tendency to look and be like, oh, like, that's wrong. Breastfeeding in public is wrong, or you should cover up all the time. Like, sometimes you can't, or you don't have the ability, or you do have the ability, it's just that sometimes you don't have a blanket in hand. And why do you need a blanket in hand? I mean, your child is hungry. I mean, eat. Yeah, people should be discreet, but it doesn't always happen that way, because sometimes your child is like crying because they want to eat, and then you have no other choice than to breastfeed your child. And people should be like grown up about these things. Like, okay, I see a woman breastfeeding their child, so what? So what? Okay, the child is eating. Thank God the child is eating. Like, instead of being like, oh, like, cover up, like, that's disgusting. What's disgusting about breastfeeding in public? Like, there's nothing disgusting about breastfeeding your child in public. This is my child eating. It's like a breast. People sexualize everything. And it's like, no, I'm just breastfeeding my child. Like, don't look. Look. Be like, oh, all right. Continue on your way, honey. You don't have to be staring. You don't have to judge. I mean, judge in your mind, but don't really, like, give a stare or, like... Okay, anyways. I just forgot to mention that little story, and you know, being a teenager, you kind of judge things you don't really know until you go through it and you're like, oh, alright. Okay guys, but thank you for listening to my story, and give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe. Thank you.